Hello, everyone. Good day. Please confirm you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So good day, everyone, and welcome to today's class. Our topic today is legislative, taken by our very own Mr. Kulilawal. So from the attendance I can see here, it's very poor. So please inform your party members to join into class because class is about to start. So we are going to give 5 more minutes for everyone to join in and then we kickstart. Remember to put your name in the chat box. Attendance is very important. So we won't hear stories at the end of the cohort. So please inform your party members to join this class and your name should be in the attendance. Thank you. All right. Good day, everyone. Once again, this is 5:05, and it's time for class. On today's class, we have Mr. Kule Lawal, the Executive Director of Electoral College, taking us on the legislative. So I don't expect anyone to miss out, as this is going to be very, very interesting and insightful. So before we start, I'm going to read the bio of our facilitator for today, Mr. Kule Lawal. Kule Lawal is a prominent Nigerian political figure and executive director of Electoral College Nigeria, where he leads the charge for political literacy, civic engagement, and democratic accountability. Under his leadership, the Electoral College has grown into a nationally respected platform, educating thousands of Nigerians on governance, elections, and citizen responsibility, while strengthening democracy from the grassroots up. A tireless advocate for informed democracy, Kule's work at the Electoral College includes designing over 27 comprehensive political education modules, pioneering candidate debates to curb off jurisdiction promises, and training over 14,000 citizens across Nigeria. His efforts are redefining how young Nigerians understand and participate in politics. Formerly National Publicity Secretary of Kowa Party, he championed intra-party democracy and innovative membership systems. As a senatorial candidate with the Alliance for New Nigeria between 2017 and 2019, Kule developed 49 draft bills, showcasing a bold vision for legislative reform. He's also the author of The Candidates, a reflective guide for aspiring leaders, and formerly led What Charts Nigeria, using technology to connect citizens with political processes. Kule's work continues to inspire a new generation of informed, active citizens, positioning him as one of the leading voices for democratic renewal in Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, our facilitator for today, Mr. Kule Lawal, our very own ED, will take us on the legislative. Please, if you have questions, don't forget to put them in the chat box or raise your hands once the class is over. Thank you very much. The floor is yours, Mr. Kule.
So good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be part of this course again. I'm sure you guys are done with your assignments and etc. It's always great to have this conversation. So today is legislative. I'll put up slides in a bit. I believe the slides have been dropped in your class, and it's kind of interesting to note that. We only have 106 students in class. That's really poor. But don't worry, things will remedy. So give me a second, I'll just get everything together so that we can proceed. So good day, everyone. Today is the legislative. And the first question I'd like to ask is what exactly do we think the legislative is? So in a nutshell, I'd allow just a few people raise hands and, let's have a conversation on what we think the legislative is and how they function. So, Charlie, it would be great if we have a hand up. We have Jessica, and maybe you could ask Jessica to unmute.
Jessica, I've asked you to unmute. You can go ahead.
Good evening, Ms. Chalia. Good evening, sir. The legislative is the arm of government that is charged with the responsibility of making laws and representation and check and balances. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Charlie, I'll mute the next
Charlie,
person
I've
now.
asked you to unmute.
Good evening, my dear lecturer. Legislator, apart from making laws, checks and balances, and the other speaker have said, they are the representative of the people's opinion, and they are the voice of the people, and they represent what the people want in government. So that's what I want to add to that, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I've asked you to unmute.
Okay, good evening, Edie. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Otepe.
Okay, so it was is it Michael Stout actually said the legislative arm of government is the eyes of democracy. Then in that definition, he was trying to explain the fact that the legislators would ratify bills that will be submitted by the executive, would also monitor the way it is being spent sometimes, would monitor it, like mostly, yeah, I'm talking about budget ratification and then monitoring the excesses of the executive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Adila, I've asked you to unmute.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Edie. I mean, the legislative is the arm of the government that is charged with the duty of making law and also representing the masses in the government, so that the voice of the masses will be heard. Thank you.
Okay.
Ibrahim, you can go ahead. I've asked you to unmute.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello, can you
Yes,
hear
you
me,
can
please?
go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, good evening, Edie, and welcome. Thank you very much. Legislative is one of the arm of government that are responsible primarily to make laws and to follow up for accountability. But from what they are doing now, I think like they are going outside their constituency project and whatever. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's just exhaust everybody since it's just Ahmed and Goddy left. Ahmed, would you care to respond?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
We can hear you, Ahmed. Good evening, we can hear you.
The legislators are the arms of government that are to make input in policy making and control the government, the executive when they are out of law or point, and also to make law.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, good day.
Thank you. Okay, last.
Yes, good day. I've asked you to unmute.
If you cannot, good day, thank you. We're trying to rush up into the class, so could you give us everything quickly in 30 seconds? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening, and good evening, colleagues.
Good evening.
The legislature, in my understanding, it's an arm of government that is basically charged with the responsibility of making laws ratifying treaties, and performing other oversight functions, basically. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear Deborah, then we'll go back to the class. Finally.
Deborah, you can unmute.
Good evening, everybody. Can
Good
you hear me?
evening.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, Deborah.
Okay. The legislative arm of government is basically the official body that is saddled with the responsibility of making law and adjudicating policy, basically. Thank you.
Are you a lawyer, Deborah?
No, sir, I am not a lawyer.
Okay, because you used the word advocating. No problem. Thank you very much for Deborah. So thank you, everyone. We've gone over the legislative. First and foremost, I'd like to start a little story. Democracy began somewhere in Greece, and it was used to govern the people basically in Greece. Now, it was based on a representative government. So it was, the way it was people just represent, let's say, street. All of you would come out and discuss issues on the street. And then you would have a conversation, you pick someone as your leader. That leader went, of course, upwards. It could go as high as Senate, then which was where they discussed with whoever led the country, and they will have conversations on governance and managing things and etc. When Greece was shaping democracy, because Greece used to be a very strong world power, while introducing democracy to people somewhere along the line, because people were used to a monarchy and whatever, people created the office of the president, because then the office of the president emerged out of our monarchical mind. So it's like a part monarchy, part what do you call it? Basic democracy, representative democracy, as we will call it, which gave birth to the presidential system of government entirely over years. So that's the genesis of legislative. Now, we need to clearly understand before we proceed into this class. We're going to discuss the National Assembly because it has the massive power. Do you understand? But I will at points mention how things work in State House of Assembly and should work at council level. So there are three levels three levels with legislative. There's the local, which is the councillors. There is councillors at National Assembly of Local Government. There is the state, which is State House and Assembly. And then there is the federal, which is the National House of Assembly. Now, who off the top of their heads can tell us how many people we have in National Assembly? Okay, it's even here. Ouch. So the National Assembly is Nigeria's legislative arm of government. Now, one can rightfully say that the sovereignty of people resides in its legislature, and that's because of the representative nature of the legislative. Now, the work of the legislative is to go back, have a conversation, and then come back. Have a conversation with the people, and then come back and, help educate laws or try to create laws that would suit the Nigeria being the first constituency, the state being probably at State House of Assembly level, and then local government being at local government level. Now, there are basic things most people know about the National Assembly, such as it's made of two chambers, which is Senate and the House of Rep. The Senate is popularly called the red chambers, and the House of Representatives is called the green chambers. There are 109 senators for 109 constituencies, and there are 360 constituencies for bringing everybody to 469 in the National Assembly. However, the National Assembly is much more than that, and this presentation attempts to explain the many facets and functions of this great institution, which is necessary. Somebody in his definition, while defining legislature, say, but they are not. Okay, we know the legislature is not working like that. We just asked you to define legislative. One of the key things I found out, when you interact with Nigerians is we know how it's supposed to be. When it's even not like that, we sit and concentrate on the fact it's not like that. No solutions, no purpose. We just want to stay on one lane. And I think that's not entirely good enough. So the National Assembly is established under Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic as amended. It is vested with powers to make laws for peace, order, and good governance of the Federation with respect to matters on the exclusive legislative list. Now, some of the matters on the exclusive legislative list are arms, aviation, currency, drugs and poisons, mines and minerals. Okay, NEPA has done its thing. Mines and minerals, passports and visas, posts, telegraphs and telephones, prisons, railways, ammunition and explosives. There's also bankruptcy, banks, citizenship, copyright, patents and trademarks, creation of states, custom and excise duties, defense and military, immigration, insurance, labor, trade or business names, powers of the National Assembly, and the privileges and immunities of its members, and then Wow. Please, can we go again? Powers of the National Assembly and privileges and immunities of its members. Everybody remembers the Natasha case where we're all getting touchy and etc. We seem to forget that the National Assembly, as empowered by the Constitution, can punish its members as it deems fit. And we seem to forget that when we're having a conversation of people. So, as usual, most Nigerians do not look at. I'm not saying it was right to punish the senator for 6 months before I'm being told something else. I'm just saying that you need to understand the powers the National Assembly initially had. And if anybody cared about it, they should have changed it, including Natasha herself, because other people were punished with same powers. When it came to her, we went, well, I don't need to tell you what we went, but we made our choices and went noisy. These powers exist. Moving on. Now, the structure of the National Assembly. Now, this may differ. I would use the House of Rep and the legislature, but this may differ when it comes to the local government or state house of assembly, etc. So first we have the Senate President or the Speaker in the case of the House of Rep. We have Deputy Senate President or Deputy Speaker. We have the Majority Leader and the Deputy Majority Leader. We have the Chief Whip. We have the Deputy Whip. We have the Minority Leader, Deputy Minority Leader, Minority Whip. Okay, now, what do they do? It's President of the Senate and the Speaker is the presiding officer and Chairman of the National Assembly. The Deputy Senate President carries the functions of the Senate President in his or her absence. Note that the other functions conventionally carried out by the Deputy Senate President. There are other functions. Now, he or she chairs the Constitutional Review Committee of the Senate. Now, the Majority Leader is the leader of the House, elected by members of the majority party. His or her role includes serving as spokesperson for the majority and leading the business of the House, managing the legislative schedule and liaising with the various committee chairmen. The Chief Whip is elected to maintain order and decorum of the House and also discipline among members of the majority party. The Minority Leader is elected by the minority party. Minority parties, in the case of Nigeria, there are probably like 7 that just have two or three. And elected by the minority parties, and his or her role is to represent the interests and maintain discipline among them. Now, plenary. I'm sure a lot of you have heard plenary, so National Assembly or a State House of Assembly conducts most of the legislative business through daily sittings and plenary sessions and committee meetings. National Assembly plenary sessions are stipulated by Section 63 of the Constitution, which provides that the life of the National Assembly is 4 years. Now, plenary session refers to the day, period, or time in which a legislature formally assembles for the purpose of law making. A session, which is 4 years, must consist of not less than 181 days within a legislative year. I repeat, a session must consist of not less than 181 days within a legislative year. Now, sittings are meetings or hearing periods of the Legislative Assembly within a session or legislative year. There is no constitutional provision for daily sittings. Therefore, it is up to the House to decide what works for it as best. Previous assemblies since 1999 have observed Tuesdays and Thursdays as sitting days. Now, the last legislative, which I believe is the 9th Senate, they did not meet the 181 days within a legislative year, which means that every senator or that served within that time did not meet the constitutional requirements. Now, the Constitution is silent on whether what should happen. It just states they should. It's silent. So these are, lacunas in the Constitution, which we must generally try to look into and say, okay, what are the punishments if this occur? Are the people even counting? And that's what's most shocking. You'll be surprised. People might not be counting. People might not be paying attention. People might not even notice what's going on. So recess refers to long breaks of the House at the end of a session. So now this is distinct from the usual adjournment that occurs after a plenary sitting. Now, the powers of the legislature. Now, legislatures enjoy certain powers, privileges, and immunities. Legislative powers can be defined as constitutional powers bestowed on the legislative arm of government. Now, these powers could be expressed, implied, or assumed. Now, express powers stated in Constitution include power over public funds, power to alter the Constitution, power to ratify treaties, and the power of oversight of the executive. I don't think I need to explain any of this. They're quite clear. So note that the Constitution empowers the legislature to create rules regarding its internal affairs. This is the basis of existence of the rules and standing orders that guide chamber proceedings in the Senate and House of Representatives, respectively. Implied powers are ancillary to assist carrying out of the powers stated in the Constitution. Now, they are legislative communities. Now, and the reason why I'm kind of structured with this is because I'm following the exact constitutional provisions for how legislative should be. I can't alter with my own words. I want it to be as bare as the law states. So legislative now, in the exercise of their functions, the National Assembly often works in smaller units known as committees. Now, a committee is a unit within the legislative chamber that allows groups of legislators to review policies, propose bills, and report back to the chamber. Now, one central theme is that the committees are created for the purpose of satisfying the need for specialization and division of labor in lawmaking. For example, we'll get to that. Towards the end, most committees in the National Assembly created in line with existing mandate of ministries, departments, agencies in government. The functions of committees are spelled out in the Constitution and in the rules of each house. Some general functions of committees include initiation and consideration of bills, oversight of the executive, constituency representation. Now, there are types of committees. The first type of committee is known as the Standing Committee. Now, which are permanent committees that aid the National Assembly in their day-to-day functions. Examples include the Committee on Rules and Business and Committee on Appropriations. There are special committees, which are permanent committees established by the rules of the House and Senate with clear terms of reference to perform specialized functions beyond that of standing committees. An example is Committee on Selection, which selects and nominates members into various standing committees. There are also ad hoc committees, which are committees created as a matter of urgency to deal with a pressing or specific issue. An example is the ad hoc committee on the review of the Constitution. So there are also joint committees, which are either a combination of two or more similar committees from two chambers or from one chamber. The aim of a joint committee is to examine any subject matter that falls in their jurisdiction. There are also committee of the whole, which happens when an entire membership of a chamber forms a committee that is chaired by its presiding officer to consider a bill or a matter of concern. There is the conference committee, which, of course, this is a committee consisting of members of the Senate and the House who converge with the aim of harmonizing differences on a bill that has been passed by both houses. Note, committees are powered by secretariats, which are headed by clerks and other committee staff. To further support their work and the work of their committees, legislators often hire personal staff and legislative aides to assist them, or in our case, members of family. There are slave queens and etc. Whoa, so guys, yeah, the legislative class is quite technical, so I won't say we're taking in questions now, but let's just do a rough test. Now, who can tell me which Senate has the most parties? That's most political parties in the House of Rep. Is it the 8th Senate? That is the Senate from 2015 to 2019. The 9th Senate, which is 2019 to 2023. The 10th Senate, which is 2023 to 2027. Who can give me that answer? Charlie, are you there? Please unmute Adela Jaisen.
All right. I would say this current Senate have the involvement of all political parties. I would say this
All?
current Senate, this 10th, I
It
think
has
it's
the-
not all, but a good number of parties that contested in the election. At
a
least.
good number of parties. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take your answer. Anybody else? Anybody else?
No, Edie, we don't have any
Wow.
more hands.
Okay, so he's actually right. If I'm right, parties available in the National Assembly right now are Labour, APC, PDP, NNPP. Ali, I can't answer. I'm already what they call it. I'm already explaining. Where do we start? Labour, APC, PDP, NNPP, ZLP, ADC, and there's one more. I can't remember. It'll come to me. I think there's 7. And it's very interesting that most of the conversations Nigerians have right now is that we're a one-party state. So funny because also with governors, Nigeria has never had this number of governors. I believe we have Labour, we have NNPP, we have Labour, we have NNPP, we have PDP, we have APC, and we have ABGA. 5 parties. 5. And yeah, also the one I forgot in Congress was ABGA also. So it's when you call Nigeria a one-party state at this point, I start to ask myself, is it the conversation you want to have, or you just love saying funny things? And my interface with media, I'm always making that clear. There was a time in Nigeria, 33 states or 34 states were controlled by the PDP. The only states available not controlled by the PDP was AD in Lagos and CPC in Zamfara. All other states and everywhere else were controlled by the PDP. And I don't think in the House they had more than two parties in the House. I wasn't there. Nigeria was not a one-party state. It was PDP was the largest party in Africa. Now it is Nigeria is a one-party state. And for those of you thinking I'm making brief for APC, you have a lot to learn about me. But anyway, moving on. Let's continue our conversation. What are the roles of legislative? Making laws pertaining to issues affecting public interest, representing the opinions and interests of citizens and the nation as a whole, overseeing government ministries, departments, and agencies. Those are the key roles. Their roles are not roads. Their roles are not hospitals. If you have paid attention closely to the conversation I've been having, there is no mention of constituency projects here. And that is because there is no constitutional backing for constituency projects. It's an anomaly that was put in there because somebody wanted a third term. And the person is now even denying that he wanted a third term. Nigeria is a beautiful country. And now we are having to deal with constituency projects given to at all levels. But like we say, moving on. The process. Now, this is the process in which a bill passes to become law. Now, bills pass through following stages in each house or chamber, and this is the same at local, state, or federal level. First is the presentation and the first reading. That is where the bill is initially being read. Like Ojus or Kalu stood up yesterday and said they need to pass a bill on what they call it, on that would ensure safety in aviation. That most pilots abuse drugs. That's why the planes land anyhow. I believe Nigeria has one of the safest airspaces in Nigeria. And I think what Jules Okalu is a joke. And whoever read that gave him that bill because apparently he was reading it line for line. He apparently didn't think it through. Anyway, presentation and first reading, that's what happened. Second reading is, of course, when it has passed the first reading, it will be read again for the second time. This time, it will be mentioned and read again. Then there's committee stage. Once the committee is formed on that particular bill, it will be restructured, refined, check whether there are anomalies with existing laws in the constitution, existing laws in the state, or etc. Then there will be third reading and passage. Once that happens, it will now be sent for concurrence by both houses, the National Assembly and the House of Rep and the Senate. And then it will be sent to Oga at the top for assent. Once the president assents to it, it becomes law. Now, constitutional amendments, we need to understand that every time there could be amendments in our constitution. If 2/3 of the chamber pass the bill without amendments or differences, it is transmitted to the State House of Assembly for concurrence. However, if an amendment occurs either at the chambers, at either of the chambers, as House of Representatives, a conference committee will be set up to harmonize differences on the bill before sending it to states for concurrence. Note that if both houses are not able to harmonize positions, the bill will be returned to the respective chambers for fresh voting. At the state assembly level, a simple majority vote of approval of each clause by 2/3 of the states is required for each amendment to come into effect. This is about 24 of Nigeria's, or let's say 24 of Nigeria's 36 states. Abuja does not have a legislative. Abuja's legislative is the National Assembly. Meanwhile, what you would keenly remember when doing this is the Not Too Young to Run bill, for instance, that had to pass through states. If I remember, Not Too Young to Run bill failed in Lagos, if I'm right. It failed in Ogun too, but it had passed in multiple other states. Well, it explains why Lagos people are still always waiting for their turn when it comes to politics. Yesterday, I think I was somewhere and I said Lagos is the most politically backward state in Nigeria. And people were really getting angry, and some of them were saying, go back to your state. Yeah, I lived half Lagos, half Abuja. We're saying get back to your state, etc. And these are the parameters for saying it. I wasn't just abusing Lagos. Lagos has 25 million people, counts for almost 13 million registered voters. For president, Lagos has never given us 2 million votes. For governor, Lagos has never given us 1.5 million votes. And for local government elections, Lagos has never given us 300,000 votes. For me, that's political backwardness. The ratio to number is too wide, and most people don't want to have that. But they, as usual, they will yab me. They say I'm somebody called me a Fulani slave, another, they were typing all kinds of insanities. But it's always interesting when you get to tell people the truth and they don't like it. So at state assembly level, a simple majority of, okay, we've read that. Following the concurrence, from the states, their report on the bill is forwarded to the National Assembly for adoption. Therefore, the clerk of the National Assembly sends a clean copy of the bill to the president for his assent. Now, challenges of passing bills. Now, the National Assembly has often struggled with passage of bills simultaneously, with some crucial bills failing to pass before the end of one assembly. Some of the contributing factors to the large number of pending bills in the National Assembly, apart from the lack of political will to make legislation, include poor coordination and synergy between the chambers that often leaves a bill passed in one chamber and not passed or concurred by the other chamber. The other thing I'll critically say is also the poor understanding of Constitution by members of the National Assembly. Most of them have not read, another half of them are sleeping, and the other half are not even around. So it's always, a challenge to constitutional amendments in Nigeria. Now, we'll discuss their oversight powers. Now, oversight helps improve the efficiency, economy, and effectiveness of governmental operations. So oversight is to detect and prevent poor administration, waste, and abuse. Well, in the case of many things, I don't think we've really seen them prevent waste and abuse and poor administration. Arbitrariness or illegal and unconstitutional conduct is also an oversight function that the legislative has on the executive. They also to ensure the executive is in compliance with law. It's also to protect citizens' rights, to ensure executive policies reflect public interests, to gather information to be used in informing or educating the public, and to evaluate execution and performance of the national budget. Though if you query the national budget, you will collect 6 months like Natasha did. Now, challenges of passing bills. Okay, I've already done that. Okay, National Assembly. Okay, I think I expand on that here. National Assembly has often struggled with the passage of bills. Time saying, okay, some of the contributors concord or whatever. So, narrow content of bills, poor drafting, policy duplicity, inadequate or delayed legislative scrutiny, which takes so much time. Well, the process for passing bills in Nigeria is quite longer than most other processes. I don't know why, but I would say we have quite a funny way. I think one of the critical things is also that Nigerians do not, a bill from a senator in Nigeria, sometimes, like look at PIB bills, up to 110 pages. And if a bill is 110 pages, okay, everybody will have to read that thing and understand that thing before it becomes law. And it takes so much time. Normal bills in other countries are just short. I think late Senator McCain was one of the best people in one of the best legislators in the US, and he has about 2,000 bills. Most of his bills are just short lines, and I think it's only the defense bill that makes it what they call it that is a one pager. So it goes to show what we think about bills as citizens and how we see things. So our National Assembly is just a function of who exactly we are and what is going on. So next is representation, since we've gone over oversight, representation. So representation, and now if your people in the State House of Assembly don't do this, if your people in council are not doing this, if your senator or House of Representatives national level are not doing this, because I know none of them is doing all this. None of them is even doing half of this, including your faves, your so-called faves. Sponsoring bills on the floor of the House, problem. Setting up a constituency office to facilitate public access, bigger problem. Regular physical visits to constituencies, massive problem. Meetings with interest groups in order to stay engaged with various issues of concern. But you need to know this is how it has to work. Because when you challenge them, you need to know this is what is supposed to be done. Presenting petitions in National Assembly on behalf of constituents to ensure their grievances are addressed. Seeking, it didn't say waiting for public constitution. Seeking public consultations and input on a bill. They do that. Citizens, do you attend? No, we don't. Keeping in touch with community leaders. Can you carry ballot box? Creating awareness and disseminating relevant information to constituents. Also not done. Actively participating in budget process and ensuring that there's room for constituents to also participate through monitoring of local projects and actively engaging the media and civil society groups. If you put all this together, it's very hard to find anyone that represents anyone in this country. It's sad, but it's the plain truth. Even your faves that people are fighting for. Yesterday, that conversation I was on was really funny, and somebody was saying that my House of Rep attended my mother's burial. He's good. That's how bad we are. Attended your mother's burial, so it means she's trying. When I say the State House of Assembly came for her child's birthday and dashed the child money, that is good for us. Well, nobody should blame us for where we are. Now, recall, only someone in power of legislation can be recalled before the next election. Others is impeached, which is what the legislative does to the executive. But now, legislative could be recalled. Note that if constituents feel poorly represented, or have lost confidence in the abilities of their legislators, they may recall them. A recall is a procedure where voters can remove an elected member of an area council, State House of Assembly, National Assembly. Section 69 and 110 of the Constitution empowers more than one half of registered voters in the affected constituency to sign a petition and present it to the chairman of INEC instead of reading, stating their grievances. Following this, I need to define this. When they say one half of registered voters, it means one half in that constituency of its registered voters. Let's say in the constituency you have 100,000 voters. It means 50,001 at least. At least. So following this, INEC will be required to conduct a referendum in that constituency within 90 days to decide the legislator's fate. However, before this, INEC must adhere to the following administrative checks. Ensure that the petition for recall was presented, is signed, arranged, and according to polling units, wards, LGs, and constituency. Check the signatures that appear on the voters' register. Now, it's also the duty of INEC to notify the member being sought to be recalled, stating the receipt of the petition for his or her recall. Issue a public notice or announcement stating the date, time, and location of verification. Verify the petition at the designated location. Where more than half, 50 plus 1, of all signatures are verified, the Commission goes ahead to conduct a referendum. A referendum in a recall is a direct vote that determines the question for the purpose of removing an elected member in an area council, state, or national assembly. If the number verified is less than one half of the registered voters, like in the case of Natasha, in constituency, the commission shall write the petitioner stating that the petition did not meet the minimum requirements and is therefore dismissed. It is noteworthy that the recall process is inapplicable to the governor of the state, the president of Nigeria. They can only be impeached by 2/3 of the majority of the members of the House of Assembly or the National Assembly. Moving on. There are also resolutions. Now, resolutions are prayers of a motion agreed to by a legislative house. There are three types of resolutions: simple, concurrent, and joint resolutions. Now, simple resolutions are usually used to express sentiments of the House or to compel a committee to carry out an investigation. A concurrent resolution are resolutions passed by both houses but do not require the agreement of the president. Joint resolutions are generally passed by both houses to give effect to constitutional provisions. Can you see how much your legislators are not doing? I hope you guys are paying attention. Now, in conclusion, this is what I always say. Now, it's to the law alone men get justice and liberty. As we sacrifice the legislative without holding them accountable, we have kissed away our freedoms. Kuni Lawal. Thank you very much, everyone. It's nice having this conversation on the legislative. There are more in-depth questions and more in-depth conversations when it comes to the legislative, but I'd rather you continue reading that thing because it's deeper than you think it is, and it gets far more interesting when you're having this conversation. So thank you, everyone, and I'll be available for questions in a bit.
Thank you very much, Edie. It's always great hearing from you, especially when it comes to the legislative, because I think it's a very important arm of government people miss out. Everybody wants to just blame the executive, blame the president, but they forget that we have the legislative to look out for. So thank you very much, Edie, for this interesting and insightful class. So it's time for questions. If you have your questions, please put them in the chat box or raise your hands. Preferably raise your hand so we can hear you ask your question. Thank you. So we have Ini. I've asked you to unmute and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you very much, Edie, for that beautiful presentation. I just have two questions I need clarities. That's on referendum. One, who mobilizes the signatories? Can someone just wake up, start mobilizing signatories and call for a referendum? Or there's a process that should be done?
For a referendum, or you call for a recall. You call for a recall,
yeah.
not for a referendum.
Recall.
Yes. Anybody can wake. It's your right as a citizen of Nigeria. Anybody can.
Okay, the second one. Are the signatories, must they be registered voters?
Yes, no, obviously. Why do you think INEC has to verify? I said that. No.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay. Adelaja, I've asked you to unmute and ask your question.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Edie, for the teaching. My question is about the legislative. It's a concern to me that we have a legislative that they are representing us, but the representation is not effective. When I mean it's not effective, we have legislative that represent us just to get the money for constituency project. When through your teaching, I got to understand that even in their roles, there is no room for constituency projects for legislators. So what is the role that a citizen can play to bring the legislators to the understanding of their major role in the as assembly, which is to represent us, to make laws and to call executive into order. So I want to know how this masses, as they normally tag us, how the masses can play their own role by telling them their roles in the house. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Adilaja. First and foremost, I like the way Nigerians always ask questions. We ask it from an no offense to all of us do it from an oppressive state. Why don't we start at the beginning instead of that now that we know what it takes for a legislator to come in, we should be wary about the kind of people we elect. I think that's a better place to start because if you want to start from after you have drank the bad medicine, it's kind of difficult too. Because the only option will be recall. I went last. Have you seen your House of Rep ever?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen your State House of Assembly? Have you seen your senator?
I haven't.
That's the problem. So now, except you're organizing a recall, and we all know Nigerians, every time they've organized the recall, what happens is that the senator will just go to the back and start sharing food and attending constituency of, going to the constituency office and doing, and everybody will just be happy. And in the end, it goes nowhere. So you can have conversations, attend their town halls, have those conversations with them, but we both know the truth. So why are we not touchy when we are voting? We know we normally do something which I think is very funny. We just do the top bottom approach, which I think is very odd. You just come, you just say, I'm behind Mr. Gregory. You people should know who Mr. Gregory is. I'm behind Mr. Gregory, top to bottom. I'm behind mandate, top to bottom. Do you people ever look at who you are voting in as senator or House of Rep, or you never? Everybody just votes, It's Kwankwaso, I'm behind. I'll vote everybody Kwankwaso. I'll vote that. Now in the end, you look at the clowns people have. So for me, I even prefer I would prescribe premeditated action than I would prescribe action after because it's kind of hard. A recall is possible, but it's hard to pull. Thank you.
That's true. Okay, thank you, Edie. We have, let me take a few questions from the chat before we go back. From NS says, my question is, in the just concluded Nigerian customs recruitment, there was a post online stating the numbers of people recruited by different legislators. Does that constitute their roles, or is it just the same old Nigerian playing out?
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me. Share I read their functions and whatever. Share I read it here comfortably. Anything after that, I don't know. Let me wash my hand very well. I don't know. There's no other guaranteed role that the Constitution provides them, but I've read their rules. I don't know. Don't ask me what I cannot shout over. Of course, yes, critically, it's not their job. That's the culture. So I always say this in Nigeria, we have what is constitutional, and then we have created a culture. Culture is defined as the way of life of the people. So we have created a political culture. That's what's playing out.
Thank you, Edie. That was direct. So we have Pashala. It says, I would like to know more about the oversight function of the legislative. That was explained.
If you want to know more about oversight, I've written basic things about oversight. I can tell you. You can always Google the oversight functions to check what boundaries, because I don't know what to tune. But oversight, of course, impeachment is an oversight, a requisite of oversight over appropriations, over funds. It's massive. Oversight is massive. The oversight functions that the legislature has is massive, entirely over the executive. The truth is that the legislative together as a body is actually the strongest arm in a democracy. But because we've lived under military rule, a lot of us Abacha. So when we see president, legislative is far more. Legislative can ground. It can ground. Okay, I'll give you an example. During Trump's first term, what's her name? Nancy Pelosi was the head of Congress. And Trump was excited, and he said he wasn't coming to their what they call it. What they call this thing again? I just skipped my head. There's this thing that the American president where he addresses everybody for every year. How do we call it? Whatever it's called. So he said he wasn't coming for it. He's exercising his rights as a citizen of America to make a choice. And they were like, fine. Nancy Pelosi was quiet for 2 days. And then she came out. She said, since the president has exercised his rights as a private citizen, the Congress will exercise their rights to grant the president his rights as a private citizen. Since he's a private citizen, they will ground his White House staff. They will ground his State of the Union. Beautiful. State of the Union. They will ground his White House staff. They grounded Air Force One and grounded everything else. Oga came for State of the Union with his tail between his legs. That's how powerful the legislative is. Legislative is far more powerful. They can remove chief of army staff without flinching now. National Assembly can remove a governor. There's nothing National Assembly cannot do. Do we exercise it? No. Do they even know? The problem is the people there don't even know their power. But they know how to pick up songs very well. Like on your mandate, all of them have learnt it. It's good. But
Okay. We have Sylvester. You can go ahead and ask your question. I've asked you to unmute.
Hear me?
Yes, we can.
yes.
Okay, so I want to ask a question. Based on the teaching, and you've already enumerated out what the Constitution, the power that the Constitution has given to their functions, what they're supposed to do. Now, my question is that this constituency project and the money that have been allocating to them, where are they getting it from? Who is approving it for them? Because that is the reason why a lot of citizens are now looking up to them to have been coming to their constituencies to execute one or two projects. And also, when you try tracking down most of those projects, you see that the money has already most of those money are approved to them. So where are they getting all this money from? If their only function, their function are to make laws and oversight and other things, then where are they getting all this function from? And who are we supposed to be holding responsible for all those constituency projects? Thank you, sir.
If something is not constitutional, it means it does not exist, which means it's a marriage between the executive and the legislative to chop money. When it comes now, how can you, and this is funny, how can you legally pursue constituency projects or criticize constituency projects when you take it to court? It's not even constitutional, so there's nothing written anywhere. So how do you legally pursue it? I don't think you can. Every time they've tried to pursue the constituency projects, it has failed, always.
Okay. Sylvester, I hope your question was answered. We'll take more questions from the chat. We have Abdulaziz. He said, my question is that about the committee, how are the both chambers make the committee?
Tell him to read the PowerPoint again. Okay, I'm not going to stress myself. That's a very simple question, but you should read the PowerPoint again. The National Assembly is made up of two houses. Those two houses are the National Assembly, not one house, two houses. So for the National Assembly to do something, it is two houses that have to concurrently work together. We've made that clear now. Senate is not separate from the House of Rep. They are not separate houses. That's why they call them one name, the National Assembly. Though there are two houses. There's the upper and lower house. But they both have to agree.
Hamza's question, during the voters' card registration, INEC does not collect signatures of the Nigerians. How will they verify the correct signature in the process of recall?
Who asked that question?
Hamza Abdul Salam.
Can you find him on the list?
Okay, Hamza, I've asked you to unmute.
Yeah, I'm here. Good
Good
evening,
day,
sir.
Hamza. Hamza, have you
Yes,
ever
sir.
voted in your life?
Yes, sir.
I already know the answer.
Yeah,
Have you?
I've been voting. You say,
No,
sir?
you've not. No, you've not.
Yeah, no, I've been voting.
How did you get your voter's card? Can you walk us straight?
No, I do goes to this thing and do registration. What I'm
No,
saying is,
When you got your voter's card, you signed. You signed. INEC has that signature. Except you don't have voter's card. Oh.
yeah, I have.
So you signed. INEC has that signature till today. What do you think? Or you don't remember you signed?
That's it too. I can't remember there's anywhere I signed.
Ha. Okay. Oh.
Like seriously.
We'll look into your voter's card. Me, I can still remember I signed.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
No problem.
Okay,
you,
we
sir.
have Bello Adamu. It says, what happened with the legislatures that sat in the assembly without supporting, sponsoring, or could join or
Number
sponsor?
one, there is no word like legislature. Nigerians must we teach you English, including you, Charlie. You two, you are repeating and saying legislatures. I agree, you wrote legislatures, but you didn't have to say it, Charlie. There is no war. There's no, what they call it. I don't know. You see, Nigerians will just be arguing anyhow. This one has left now. It's saying no, INEC does not require signature of a voter. See, the signature is part of the form. Did I say it requires? They're not going to kill me. These Nigerians are not going to kill me. Meanwhile, back to you people's legislatures. Why do people add S? That's people will be writing stuffs. The words are already plural. There's no need for the S at the end. The legislature is already plural. There's no need for the S at the end. So what were you even saying, sir? Because it was in illegible English and I didn't understand what you were saying. So now I'll say it in English so that I'll hear.
Okay, it says, what happened with the legislature that sat at the assembly without supporting, sponsoring, or could join or sponsoring a bill in the House?
You people let them go again now. Let me tell you something. Now let's do a random. I normally do this in class. Ben Murray Bruce and Dino Melaye. Who was the better senator? Quickly, type in chat box, everybody. Let's see. Who is saying Dino? Please unmute the first person that said Dino.
That is Abdurraham.
You can pick anybody, whoever said Dino. Just pick somebody that said Dino. Pick one person that said Dino. And pick one person that said Ben Murray Bruce. Then unmute both of them. Just pick anybody, any one of them. You have the power to choose.
Ali, you have asked you to unmute.
And who asked? And who next?
Yes,
Who next, Talia?
Let me see. Harry
It's okay, Ali. You
Sadie.
stay. Don't stop. Don't mute your mic. Just stay there. Are you there, Ali?
Harry, I've asked you to unmute.
Who is the next one?
ED, I'm here.
Harry.
Okay. The person supporting Dino. Why?
Well, Dino is so furious, he is so vocal at the plenary, and also he stand on what he believes is good for himself and his people.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Ali. Don't mute yet. Wait. Next guy. I don't know the guy's name. What's his name?
Good evening, ED.
Hi.
This is Paris. I picked Ben Murray.
Paris.
Yeah.
Your name is Paris?
Harris, HARR.
Oh, I thought you said Paris. Okay,
No,
Paris. Okay.
Harris.
I was wondering. Okay, great. You said?
Yeah, I picked Ben Murray Bruce because he's a better senator than Dino Malari. Not even in
How
terms.
is
Not okay.
Tell me how is better.
In terms of even Bill's presentation, bills that could better off his people, and this is someone that honored the rotational agreement from his senatorial district. He was honorable enough to stick to one term that was for his own local government, and he refused to, which is not obtainable with other politicians, to contest for a re-election. That enough, it means this person is a credible person. He's no way close to Dino Malari. The person that even said Dino Malari does not even know the two of them.
Charlie, because you know the answer, you're already laughing. You guys are not going to kill me in Nigeria. And you're not going to kill me in the electoral college. Dino is a better senator. In short, Dino is the best senator Nigeria has ever had. 9 bills passed in his time in the Senate. No, 20 proposed. 9 bills passed. Are you arguing with me? I'm talking of passed, not proposed. Yeah, do you know Ben Murray Bruce? 3 bills proposed. All of them were on oil exploration and etc. None passed. Yet he was on TV telling us about common sense. I just want to make common sense. Yeah, he did not make any common sense to me because 0 bills passed and over 1 point something billion in allowances and passed nothing. So if I ever hear anybody in this court open his mouth and ever tell me that Ben Murray Bruce was a senator and we personally use bats to hit your head, what nonsense. What is this? Do you see the choices? No, but this goes to show something critical. This shows how we judge our legislators. Saying we carry themselves, the way spoke, honored rotational agreement. How that one take affect the laws of Nigeria? Is that what we were paying for? Rotational local government. What has that got to do with us and whatever agreements that he had before he came in? Totally none of our business. So that electric cars, he didn't even propose it. He was just talking nonsense. It's 3 bills were on oil. He didn't even propose that one. He was proposing it. And there was something Ben Murray Bruce was always doing. Ben Murray Bruce will come and be proposing because he has the Silverbed TV. He will be proposing bill to us. He will not go to the house. He'll be proposing to a later. I just want to make common sense. You are who? But, so Dino Melaya is the more successful senator than the first lady. Senator Remi Tinubu, a more successful senator than anybody, Sarah Key, anybody is the most successful senator in recent Nigerian history from 1999 till present. But the good part is this. Dino himself does not even know that is something you can use to argue outside. Dino will be talking nothing for that things that do not have to do with what he has achieved. Don't worry, he went to my school, but it's not very smart. But so wait. I have one question. Do the women in this cohort think that there's reserved seats in the electoral college? There's no reserved seat here. You would say later that men are trumping you, men are this, they don't allow you. I don't agree. I've never agreed. See, men are asking questions. They are making mistakes. All of you have kept quiet. You are there. If I mistakenly now say, no, wait, if I now say that is good what you did to May Edochie, you people all jump out of, you tear me apart. That one, they will see you there. Well, if I say Burna Boy is not supposed to give that girl a Ferrari, all of you appear from nowhere. Well, this is a class about skin lightening. What do you people used to add? Glycerin and whatever, and you mix all those things. You people will all be there. Or this is a conversation about Bone Street. All of you will appear here. Politics has come now, you're hiding. Later, you say the men are meeting in the night. Is this in the night? This is in the day. Where are you? You are on this call. You're not doing anything. Say, men are meeting in the night. I've been at the highest level of political parties across time. From when I was 31 till date, I sit down high level political meeting. I've never seen a political meeting done at the so I agree, election day, everybody used to hustle in the night. Election day, everybody's a vampire. We agree. But that's election day, it matters. You put in everything. But all the meetings at night. Well, this electoral college cohort is going on in the day. Where are you people? And meanwhile, I will be noting the party that has the least people attending the class, and I will effect a punishment on that matter. So everybody that is saying I'm laughing, yes, it is to laugh, but it is still somebody say iPhone XR 17 closing. The women will come for where we just call it. That reserve seat, they'll see how it will work now. Let me tell you a small prediction. The reserve seats will never have equal votes with elected seats. That I'm telling you. It will happen. And I'm sure the reserve seats, all that will be 36, will be taken as a block of maybe 3 votes or 5 or 8 votes, but not equal to elected. It can never be equal. So I'm telling you guys today, I laugh a lot actually, Harris. That's most people in college will tell you. During meeting, I'm always joking. As you guys just don't know that part in me. So what they call it? I'll tell you that about the reserve seats. But they will call me male chauvinist as they've called me, but no problem now. We're waiting and we'll see. After that reserve seat, I'll see which woman want to run for elective position in a political party that is legislative, that is not the reserve seat. You'll see bigger problem there. I don't know how you people you see problem, you jump inside it. You people want gillies without power. Don't worry, there'll be more gillies. You people will tie gilly like satellite dish, DSTV. Put it more DSTV gillies in the National Assembly without power. That's what people want. No problem. Me, I've written about it. I've written about the reserve seats and my reservations on the matter. And the funny thing is that it has never been nobody has opened their mouth to challenge what I wrote. They will just say Kunle Lawal is a male chauvinist. In the same way I spoke about free forms for women, and you people wanted to kill me in 2022. I said it was going to bring the least women. Sure, they collected form now. That's not the problem. Win primaries, may we see now. Have you ever seen anywhere where they give free form to youth and the youth won the primaries? Everything that is free comes with a price. Anyway, today is not about women and youth. I just would love to see more female participation. And if you like, let it be only men you will submit to me for one, maybe by party chairman or party. Let me see that nonsense. You will see what you know me. He will tell you, Charlie, I'll tell you, he is not afraid to write -20. It's one of my best marks. I like writing it for people. I will just -20. You start from -20. So, any more questions? Sorry.
Yes, Iji. Ojelaye, I've asked you so much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Today has been enlightening, really, and like I said the other time, I've been learning a lot. Everything you said today, I can say I know barely 1% of it before about this country. So my question is about the majority leader and minority leader. Is it that in the House, let me say, for instance, we have APC, we have like 50% of APC, they are known than the other. Let's say that one is we have a leader for them. Now, about the minority leader, we have maybe 2 ANP, we have 2 Labour Party, we those two senators have leader called minority leader.
No. So far you are not in the majority party. The leader of the minority is the leader of all minority parties.
Wow, that is one. Thank you, sir. Secondly, is like you said, and like I can actually this from what you just said about Lagos being the and the way they reacted to it. What do we do? Because I tried to make a change during the last 2 elections. Although I didn't do anything that much, just on my personal view, and I figured out, okay, this person can do better. But to my chagrin, I figured I was the only one that voted for that person. So when they were reading because I waited till they are counting the store ballot paper and all. So when they counted that person, we were like, who is that foolish person? I don't do it. So we know that, okay, because we are saying that we should not be challenging those that are up there before we elect them. That is where the main work is. That is what we should. But what should we do if somebody like
let me ask you a question. Did you campaign for the guy?
Among my friends, yes, just few of my guys, not going out.
No. I like the honesty. You see, when you saw the results, you were complaining. But you see, there's what happens before the result. Did you campaign for the guy? No. You just say among your friends that this guy they vote for. That's not campaigning now. And besides, Campaigning to your friends is one of the worst things you can do. Even me running for office, I know my friends won't vote for me. My friends are attached to bigger politicians. They will not vote for me. Me, I know. They have to vote for what is ensuring that their children can school in the UK. So here's the conversation. You didn't campaign for the guy. You didn't. This thing will be the same. But here's even what's more shocking, if I'm right. Where do you stay in Lagos, sir?
Oh,
Or
not
where do you
Lagos.
vote in
I'm not
Lagos?
Ocean.
Oshun? Where do you stay in Oshun? What
Gongon.
constituency? Not the exact. What? I thought I've
I
traveled
say
though. That's the first time I'm hearing that one.
Gongon, not far from Ife.
Ife, okay, not far from Ife. Now ask
But
yourself, do they have portable drinking water?
no,
Do they
sir.
have portable drinking water? Do
No,
they
sir.
have renewable energy, good lights, roads? Do they?
Nothing of such.
And they are talking about Talo. Let me speak Yoruba. Yoruba is not too good, actually. Most people don't know that. Talo Dibo, whatever, whoever voted. Now here's the conversation that's funny. I believe Nigerian citizens like what their oppressors do to them. And you can argue it anywhere. Because I do not understand how you call interlocking tiles express in Lagos and they say it's a mega city. You don't want to be in Lagos when it rains. If that water touches your leg, you can have Ebola. And it's like that across Nigeria. Uyo has more rain than Lagos, and Uyo has this well-structured drainage. I'm not using Abuja. So that Lagosians will know that this thing is Iboku, no be say na Calabar too has more rain than Lagos, and drainage is good. So I think we're comfortable with the way they've oppressed us. I think we don't want to change the system because we look at Nigeria as, and I always say this, we look at Nigeria as a buffet of corruption and everybody's waiting for their turn at the buffet. So I allow you steal because I want to steal when me too I get there. If I stop you from stealing, that means I won't be able to steal if I get there. And for me, that's the main basis. So you that are saying did you campaign for the guy? You did not. Did you rally? Even if you carried 4 of your friends who are going to vote for this guy and you went there, that's something good. Election. And this is the most stupid thing about people in Nigeria. I'm sorry, I'm even one of them, but here's the conversation. We determine election and how good the election was if the person we voted for won. That's not what democracy is about. The person doesn't have to win. You stood with something different. You put the country first. That is what an election is. But Nigerians, no. When you tell them, vote for this guy, let's give an example. Vote for God Day. I'm seeing his name. Vote for God Day. You say, will God Day win? I don't understand. I'm yet to understand. Are you voting because you're voting because this is a decision and you support this person's policies? You don't vote so that the person will win. So anyway, sir, I know you didn't campaign for the guy. So next time, campaign for the guy, go all out. Also, do everything. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Seems Lisa is off duty. She has followed the women to go and talk about skincare. Mm, okay. Wait, do I have no moderator in the house? Lisa, sure I said this thing should not happen now. Why is it happening? I thought there was always a co-facilitator. Or Lisa too can't hear me. Wow. Anyway, the electoral college has decided to leave me alone in this conversation. Where is Lisa?
You were here.
Miriam, call this. There's no you are here.
I'm
What
here.
did I just say? I was asking where you were. You have host functions, is it not? Give Miriam power to talk now. Her hand has been
Yes,
up
I think
since. You are
Chalia
there.
has
You're not.
left.
That's not the question, Lisa. I said give Miriam functions. Her hands has been up since. She has. You have host functions.
Okay.
All right, Edie. So we're going to be taking Collis Banu. I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
Thank you so much. Once again, when I was listening to you speak, I was just like, whoa, do these things really? Because we're just hearing them for the first time, and I'm glad we're having, sessions like this because there's really a big knowledge gap. I think that's part of our major challenge. We don't even know our right or what exists or what we can do or not do. Yeah. So my
No,
question.
Collins, very grateful for you to say that. But from what I've seen, I think our major challenge is not that we do not know. Our major challenge is that we do not agree, we do not know. Problem. So when you talk to the average Nigerian, how are you going to teach me politics and governance? Okay. You are just at class 4. You've just fourth module. You guys are wild. You haven't even reached anywhere. You guys. So I think the problem is that we're arrogant with our
Yeah.
ignorance.
Yes.
Now go ahead, Collins.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so so I was just thinking, because when you were talking about the rules of the legislature, both the red and green chambers, and I think somebody also asked a question on the oversight, and you were like, it's so huge, so massive oversight over the executive and other things. So they now serve as check, if I don't know if I'm correct, for the executive and some of all these other things.
Yes,
But
you're
the
very
question
correct.
yeah, but the question now is, so who checks them? Is it the constitution or is it the legal system, or who calls them? Because you made a checklist earlier and you said, okay, which of your constituents do this, seeking for public, this, that, all those things you listed. And out
Do
of
you know who's to check, Collins? The two people that
yes,
are to check them are stated in that the judiciary and the citizens, but the highest check is actually the citizens. Hence, there's the recall. Do you get? The citizens have the highest check on the legislative.
okay. Because from the way I understand, okay, thank you, sir. Because from the way you explained it, the recall is a process. If it can take, I don't know, maybe
No,
I don't know if they be
no.
successful.
The only
Maybe.
reason why there haven't been successful recalls is because we took the collect Egunje at the back.
Okay.
There was one that almost occurred in Lagos. That woman that said the NSAS children used to NSAS people are taking drugs. She was almost recalled. It was almost, the numbers were very close. She just started going to constituency. Or that's why I said they'll start going to constituency office bribing. The same with Natasha now. She didn't go back to there and put some things right. She don't appear. She's shouting lion. All of them. So we are gullible. We have not made the choice to recall somebody. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. Because recall requires a collective decision. Like if we wanted to respond to Akpabio torturing Natasha and wanted to really form support that all these women gathered, hey, Akpabio, wait, carrying placard up and down, hey, waiting, who your placard here? Who your placard here? And that one that calls herself a freedom fighter that used to pose like Statue of Liberty. What you should have done is you'd have initiated the call for Akpabio. Akpabio would have sat down. But as usual, Nigerians don't think. So if you don't think, you act like not thinking.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Edie. God Day, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
Lisa, give Charlie host functions. Gives her so that she's back.
Thank you very much. My question is simple. So, in your mention of oversight function, can you hear me? Am I on record, please?
Yes, yes. You said in your mention of
The legislature's oversight functions, which some of them are appropriation of bills and then checkmating the activities of some agencies, parastatals. So I want to ask, where a motion is moved in the National Assembly regarding, or a prayer is being made regarding a particular agency, let's say NDDC, for instance, and a prayer is made by a legislator to mandate or compel the agency or the director or certain officials of such agency to carry out a particular function, and such agency within the stipulated time or fails to carry out the mandate of the National Assembly, what power does the National Assembly has to sanction such agency?
So the National Assembly can remove the entire board. National Assembly
Without a court
has
process?
Without what?
Without the aid of the court.
Which
Can
court?
they do that without the aid of the court, like going to court actually?
I need you to understand something. The National Assembly is the people. The people always have the power to remove. The National Assembly can remove the chief of army staff. It can remove the chief of defense staff. The National Assembly can remove the president and the vice president. There's nobody the National Assembly cannot. Their Oraimo court can reach everybody. Let me use language that you understand. Their Oraimo court, who is agency? Who agency? It's target practice now. They will scatter his head. They can do and undo. They can cut off funds. They can wake up today and say Nigeria has too many ministries, departments, and agencies. We are going to 16. These are the 16, and nothing will happen. Ministers will be unseated. It's not anybody's business. They have that power. I think I stated it clearly. The legislative is that powerful. Hello?
Yes, he's muted.
Okay.
Yes, that's provided. Ibrahim, I've asked you to unmute.
Who did you ask from me?
Ibrahim.
Hello.
Good day.
Good morning, sir. Morning, everybody. My question is that I want to ask about the restriction of age about the legislators. What I want to ask is that is there any restriction or health issue that could disqualify someone from contesting a legislative seat or lead them to being removed from their seat because of that?
Yes,
That is my question.
criminal. You can read that in the Electoral Act. You will do the Electoral Act here, so no need to rush. But criminal, this thing can cause such situations down.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Adedimo, I've asked you to unmute.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Edie. Thank you for the insightful teaching. I have a question regarding the power, and I'm also reading from your slide, sir. You said that the Constitution's empowered.
I did not say. The Constitution said. I just wrote it. You
Okay.
can check the Constitution. It's not Kunle. It's not Edie that said it. Please don't
Yes,
say it's me
the
that said it.
The Constitution said that the Constitution empowers the legislature to create rules regarding its internal affairs. This is the basis of the existence of the rules and the standing order. I wanted to ask a question that regarding the Senate leader and the deputy Senate leader, we all know that the majority leader always occupy the post. Is it in any constitution of Nigeria that must be the majority party that have to occupy that seat, sir?
It is law now. You have won the most houses. Even in UK, it's parliamentary law. If you look at the parliamentary system of government, it's most seats with most house with most people with seats that becomes the prime minister. It's because you dominated the legislative house now. Excuse me, you dominated the legislative house, so it's not. It's a very simple thing.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. That's my question.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Israel Modi, I've asked you to unmute. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Edie, good evening, and good evening, everyone. I must say that this lecture has been very, very, very insightful, and I've learned so much from these legislative courses. But I have one concern, and my question is, Edie, as regards when the president suspended the governor of Rivers State, he didn't pass through the legislative councils yet. But even while they went on vote, they did what they call I'll call the voice vote. And I want this actually leads to my question. Is there a way that does the law permit the kinds of bill or the kinds of um should I say bill that or process that should be done through the voice vote or through the electronic vote? Because I think issues like that required an electronic vote, but the House actually used the voice vote, which actually didn't make sense to me.
Utibe, let me first ask you a first question. First critical question. Do you know if electronic votes systems have been installed in the House? Yes or no?
No, because I feel most of
No.
the votes are
Yes.
going to vote.
Nigeria. Let's answer the question. Yes or no? Do you know whether it has been installed? Yes or no?
No.
The
I don't
actual
know.
answer is that it has been installed, preceding Saraki taking over. But here's the question. You, the people, have not marched to the House and said electronic votes from today, no more. They actually have the right to move to it. But because you are comfortable with the eyes and the nays that people have been watching and you are not ready to disturb them over it. So you see, for our democracy to work, there are little things we have not even paid attention to. Number one, let's have electronic voting and let's see who voted what so that we can recall you. That's the demand we're supposed to be demanding of the legislative. All these things were installed since 2014. Saraki's Senate entered with that voting system in place, but nobody has used it. We'd rather be arguing funny things. Hey, this one, that one, that one, this one, that one, that one. Those are not interesting things. So till we demand it, the Senate will continue doing what it wants to do. And as regards Section 305, I think I've spoken so much against it that I don't even want to speak against it again. It's an anomaly in the Constitution. I didn't think as a grown man I was going to ever know anything known as a sole administrator over a state. I complained about it, but Rivers State seemed to be so comfortable with it. In short, it was a sham. It's a disgrace to the Constitution. It's an anomaly on the Constitution. It's a travesty by the National Assembly and the Office of the President. And I do not in any way have pandered or even thought it an idea. The direct insult of 305 shows the exact poor nature or the militarization of our Constitution. That's my position on the abuse that occurred with Section 305 and the present president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, Lily, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Aminu, I'll ask a question. Aminu, are you there? Okay, let's move to Prosper. You can go ahead and ask your question.
I saw Kule Lawal. I saw somebody with my full name, and I believe it's someone I know. I haven't seen you. Didn't you asked?
All right, good evening.
The hand has been up since. Good evening.
Good evening, Edie. Thank you for these lectures and this opportunity to ask my question. Okay, so my question is based on the Constitution. I mean, what's the relationship of passing of bills or amendment of bills with the Constitution? Is it that when a bill has been passed, so it's directly as in pushed into the Constitution and then it becomes a law, or is still outside the law? So what time is it going to be part of the Constitution? That's the question I want to ask, please.
Hey. Talia, how do I answer this question? Is it Charlie Ade or Miriam?
You can start from anywhere.
How do I answer the question? Because the person that wants to answer say bill has to do with policy. There's problem. I just wasted this entire 2 hours just to be told bill has to do with policies. The person that is asking question, the person that is answering. Oh my God. I won't die. You guys are not going to kill me in electoral college. The person has deleted his answer. I'm not laughing. It's just I'm laughing at the work that I have to do. So when a bill passes, it becomes law. When becomes law, of course, it enters the constitution. That's why they keep saying the 1999 constitution as amended, because it keeps amending. Laws keep going into it. So you look at the constitution 2 years ago and you look at the constitution now, they are different. And bills are not policies, please. Policies are even done by the executive. Oh my God. See, I don't want headache. I don't want headache this evening.
Okay. Prosper, is your question answered? Please.
Who is still talking now? Charlie, unmute everybody.
Go ahead. Okay, we have Kuli Lawal. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a pleasure sharing this stage, sharing this room with you.
Wait. Who are you calling ED? You two are ED now. Is the ED not Kunle Lawal?
No, I'm not ED.
Yeah, ED now.
Yeah, I'm not ED. Thank you, ED. Thank you, Kunle Lawal, for this opportunity. And so, obviously, our problems in
I find this
Nigeria
very odd.
is enormous, even from the platform. And I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of us have taken this step to just to join this class, right? To be enlightened and know more about some of these things and be out of this ignorance that is a prevalence in our society. Clearly, some of us, the citizen, don't know our rights. Some of even them that are there don't even know some of the powers they carry and all that. So my question is I'm just overwhelmed with a lot of this, but I will just streamline it to these 2 points. One, we have plenty laws. You said it in the first class also that there are plenty laws. We have fine laws, right, that can help us in our country. But the problem is implementation. Where do we face? Who are to implement, right? Is it and who enforces to ensure that this implementation also take place? I know for an average Nigerian that doesn't know their left from their right, approaching this is also a major task, right? Which I believe CSOs like yours are into, but obviously enough has not been done, and enough cannot be done in the country, right? Because those that want to know, those want to know are also there, and the problem keep compounding. So where do we face? How do we get out of this? And to your mind, how soon do you think we can get out of this mirage of trouble? Yes, that's one. Two, sir, is to say fiscal. Please let me get the name well so that I don't call. I've been to their office at some point. That's the revenue mobilization allocation and fiscal commission. Are they not playing the same role? Yeah, with yes, are they not playing the same role with to some extent, especially what's the difference between their role? I know it could be a subset of it, but I'm seeing a kind of a duplication of role, kind of from with this this revenue mobilization allocation.
Okay. You remember your first question, but let me quickly answer this. So
Yes.
this is a country where Nigeria has over 1,500 ministries, departments, and agencies. You have VIO and FRS. You have police also doing traffic. You have EFCC, ICPC, NFIU, all doing the same thing. You are complaining about duplication. Should I continue? Because we'll not stop today. We can continue the massive duplications. But if I have to employ all my people now. I have to appoint all my people. How far I become president? At least I suppose I appoint like 10 people for cohort 19. Appoint like another 10. So I need the space to do all that, first and foremost. Your first question now is, with the issue of poverty of knowledge, how can we get laws implemented? I always tell people this. The laws of the country are only as strong as the number of people that know them. So the reason Nigeria's laws seem weak and seem unimplementable is because we do not have people that know the laws. Even lawyers don't know the laws. I've sat down on multiple SANs. Charlie knows that, multiple SANs, and we're discussing the Electoral Act, and they do. Let's not even discuss what happens. So, I begin to wonder who the lawyer is between two of us, and I'm not a lawyer. So it's do I call you KL now? Which one? I'm kind of odd to say this. So Kule Lawal, listen, it is it's kind of hard to implement laws in a place where people do not know the laws. I'll give you an example. In America, when you watch movies, all of you say, never leave an American behind. Do you know it's not a law in America? It's not a law. It's a culture, but they've imbibed it into their hearts that it has become like a law. They won't leave anybody behind. But in Nigeria, do we have anything? The only laws we seem to have in Nigeria, first one, when you do one bed, there must be plenty meat. Do not joke with small chops. And thirdly, the beer must not stop flowing. Those are our laws in Nigeria.
Our culture.
That's and then spray money for. Those are our laws. So till we start to have those kind of laws, and we can't have it because the primary problem is that we are all Efik, Kanuri, Fulani, Tiv, Mangu, Tarok. Why am I calling two places from Plateau? Ishekiri, Anang, different places than we are Nigerian. So we need to have a Nigerian identity first. Then we can start saying, in Nigeria, this does not happen. In Nigeria, this, and we start to have the kind of laws that are imbibed not only because they are written, but because they are morally right and projecting the idea of becoming a Nigerian. But I think that's where we have the conversation. And will you please stop asking me questions? It's odd having to read my name even. Thank you very much, Penny.
I'll keep asking. The second one, revenue mobilization, fiscal, whatever.
No, I already answered you that one. I already answered you with that one.
Okay, yeah.
I said when there's VIO,
yeah,
there's EFCC, there's ICPC, you are complaining about.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Same
Thank
thing.
you,
Okay.
boss. Thank
Okay, so I'll take a question from the chat box. From Ulushola. He said, if there is no legal and constitutional backing for constituent projects, and most times it is in the budget, is that not making the budget also illegal since it contains an illegal constituent project that is not recognized?
You have the answer now. He has already said it. It is illegal, and we both know that. So let's not even have that conversation. It makes it illegal. It makes the entire process. It makes our budgeting illegal. It makes everything illegal. So he's right. It's getting late. It's 18:45. Hands are still up. People should understand that today is not only Friday for you people, it's Friday for me. I'm not going to look like this. I'm going to go and remove kaftan. Go on, can't say it publicly because this is a video. I have to restrict what you people know. But today is Friday, please.
Okay, we didn't take. We have three more hands raised. But let me take this question. It says, please, how do we stop this top to bottom syndrome? The fact that a president or governor is choice doesn't mean that those running for legislative positions are. So this brought every candidate from a party from top to bottom isn't helping us.
Me, I don't know how to stop it because I don't do it. I've never done it. And the people that are doing it, I've been trying to teach them. Am I not trying that we set up the electoral college together? We are trying to educate you guys. I'm already trying to stop it now. I can't do more than this. So there's only one small Kunle Lawa. Even to beg you people to come to class is problem. Do you understand? Out of how many students are there, Charlie? 700 and something?
Yes, it is.
We have 110. We have 110. You can clearly see the problem of Nigeria, free class. But if I were teaching, like I said, skin lightening, or if you people permit me to say in nice terms, if I were teaching men how to last longer in the other room, this whole place would be full. Now I'll have 700. They won't be paying me 10K safe. So these are the issues. You understand? If in a country like Nigeria, Portable has 2.5 million followers, who is following Portable? I want to know who is following. Well, when we bother about who is following Portable, we are more concerned with the NBA who decided to invite Portable to come and perform. NBA that is to repair Nigerian Bar Association. Well, it seems they've been drinking some new things in that bar because I don't understand the NBA again these days. So you guys.
Okay. So we have Utimbe Abasi. I've asked you to unmute.
Okay. Good evening.
Utibe, this is your third question.
No, sir, it's the second question. No, it's the first question.
Third. See
First
this guy. You think I don't
the
know?
other one, your question.
Utibe, your assumption is that my brain is too old to know how many times I've seen you on mute. In just this short class.
So this is actually my first question anyways. Okay, sir. First of all, I want to start by appreciating the fact that you recognize Dino as the best senator actually in his time, better than Ben Bruce. I've argued it too many times.
No, I didn't recognize him as best senator in his time. I recognized him as the best senator of all time since 99.
I really support that. I'm very happy about that because I've argued and I'm tired. So I've had that as a bigger evidence. My main question, coming from the angle of reducing the cost of governance, over the years, I've been trying to really understand why do we really need to have a federal House of Rep and then we still have a Senate? When we argue about cost of governance, it's the federal House of Rep that's extremely important that we cannot do without it.
Let me ask you something. How many Nigerians are there?
We have 306 there.
No, I mean, how many Nigerians are in Nigeria? About approximately over 220 million, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's be honest. Let's not speak English. 460 people, can they represent 220 million? Be honest to God. Don't speak ideological English. We want to repair, whatever. Let's ask ideological questions. So I'm going to ask directly. Which can 469 people represent 220 million? It's just a simple question, sir.
No, they can't. But how about the State House of Assembly?
Okay, randomly. Utibe, we've done this while you were Utibe, you know I know it's you. Huh? We've done this. How many are they? 8,000. 8,000 juxtaposed with 220 million. If we put the two houses together, maybe we'll have about 9,000. That's entire National Assembly and the State House of Assembly. 9,000 people representing this thing. We have about 8,876 wards, meaning that we have 8,876 councillors. About, if you add that 8,000 to 9,000, that makes it about, let's just say, roughly 17,200 people representing 220 million people legislatively. Utibe, is that correct? Is that proportional or not?
It's not. I understand better now.
You have my answer now. Thank you very much.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I think the last question from Marshall. I've asked you to unmute.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Edie. Thank you so much. Hello?
You can go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. I want to talk about on the aspect where the Edie said that lack of understanding and knowledge of our rights, which is actually true. But to another
I didn't
extent,
say lack, oh, please. Poor understanding. I didn't say
okay,
lack.
poor
I don't use the word
understanding.
lack.
Okay, thank you, Edie. Poor understanding. How about fear? Because they say a man that is hungry without money and without weapon cannot fight a man that has money and has weapon and is well fed. So even if we know our rights, how do we fight these people when they have placed themselves so high? Example, using poverty as a weapon, against the people. So they keep making the people poor so that they continue to have that much power. So it's actually another challenge that we have. The fact that we can't even fight them, the fear that if we try.
Wait. Who is speaking?
Marshall.
Marshall.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, who told you are poor?
Sir, poor is not just
No. Calm down. Just, my answers. I like direct answers. Let's be doing direct answers. Don't go wide. Who told you are poor? Because you have
because
asserted.
I don't have the financial muscle that it takes to fight those
Okay.
people. So I assume that I'm poor.
When we use the word we are poor, you are referring to in a large number of Nigeria.
Okay.
How many Nigeria? If in this class roughly, I can predict there are more than 20 iPhone 16s. There might be about 10 iPhone 17s. No, but let's say 5 iPhone 17s. Like there are about 30 other iPhones. This is a country where women put 1 million on their head and it's normal. This is a country where guys will carry babe to hotel. This Friday, now. Hotel, pepper soup, shawarma, and boss bottle in club. I don't think we are poor. Our problem is we do not have a value system for what we do. Because being honest, even if you go to the village when they are doing burial, who is poor when they are burying their father? Do you see how much they spend here? So I don't think we are poor. But this is the problem with Nigeria. You would rather invest 1 million on a weave-on and fall inside gutter in Obalende than to invest 100K in somebody who you care about that should win and you end up not falling inside gutter. Our proportionate, so for me, Nigerians do not celebrate good. We don't, it's not that we don't have good people in Nigeria, we celebrate mediocrity. So what is the problem in Nigeria? Don't say they are using poverty to weapon. When they are giving you money to vote, okay, so you collect 2K or 10K. Let's just say it's even if you are in Anambra now where money day yakpa 20K. Can 20K last you a month? You know that voting is a decision for 4 years. You collect 20K for 4 years. I think Nigerians are greedy. Short-sighted, poor with value. They are not poor. Nigerians are not poor financially. Nigerians are poor intellectually. That is the answer. Not that, because number one, who even told you are defeated? You are defeated how? Why did they come to beg you for votes? No matter how powerful they are, they come to beg you for votes. The same people that will tell you, don't vote for a small parties, they waste for your votes. They are bribing you to vote for them. Is that not a contradiction? Sure, they say
Yes,
the
sir.
vote is useless. They've won now. Is it not a contradiction? So don't say anybody is weaponizing poverty. Say you have adopted that since I am poor, according to me, when they give me money, I will sway one way. That's the truth. Because why would you want to suffer? You have 4 years to suffer. You prefer 20K. That is not even enough to take a kite out. Why did I use a kite? I've never tasted a kite, but 20K is not enough to take a kite out. And then you're having a problem. Do you understand? So for me, it's poverty of intellectual value. than it is. Let's be honest. If I come out today and I say I'm running for president, which of you will vote for me? None of you will. Even if
Now
you
that I know
consider me
you, I
highly
will.
intelligent, you will not. Let me tell you why you will not. You will not, because when you even want to introduce me to your people, they will be the first people to depress. You say, man, one guy, man, he's really grounded, whatever. They'll just see me, I'll just show with keke na pep, I'll just come down. That's the end. Is it found out? That's the end. You don't crash. You don't fall ground. Well, that's the truth about it. They'll say, where are his posters? Where are his people? He came without 20 essays. Now, wow. Electoral college, please let me ask something. Electoral college, please, I want to look big in front of the students. I want to have more PAs and essays. Maybe somebody approve. Thank you. Eh.
Asha, I hope your question was answered. Okay, muted. Okay, Edie, we have one more hand.
Okay, I'll answer one more
This
question.
would be the last from
And
Bello. You can
then
go ahead.
it's time for my cow tail because I'm feeling cow tail. I'm on the
Well,
verge of a cold and I need my cow tail. Yeah, go ahead.
good evening,
Bello.
sir.
Na Jinka.
Bele Bako is my name. Yes, I'm calling
Na Jinka.
from Taraba State. All right, sir. I really appreciate and admire the way you talk this weekend because last week it was like, wow, is this how we're going to continue with this your authoritative awarding language I used the other last week? I said, oh, let's see how it goes. But this week you are jovial, you are friendly, you are polite more in your talk, and it makes my question. You made mention of a lady that is maybe Aisha to Yusuf who followed Natasha to the National
I did
Assembly.
not call her name.
You said
I did not refer. I did not. I
you
did not call
described
her
to me.
name.
Go ahead, sir.
You made
Yeah,
that.
you said
I'm just being clear. I did not call her name.
all right, sir. It's like you mentioned that she can move for the recall of the Senate president. She's from Kogi State and
Yes.
Akwa Ibom is from Akwa Ibom State. My question:
She's from
can
Edo
she
State.
also move for the recall of the
She's from
Senate
Edo.
president?
But Bello, she's from Edo
Edo.
State. She's not from Kogi State. Don't
Okay,
allow
she's
Kogi's
from
people
Edo
catch
State.
you.
Okay, sir. Can she call for a
No,
recall of
but
Akwa Ibom?
she doesn't need to call, but she has followers, and they had followers that were from that state. So one of them could make a move,
All
and
right.
she had a vocal position, and she could agitate for that. But as
All
usual,
right.
she'll say she's not a citizen of Nigeria. So muna kallanta.
That is very good, sir. But and the second thing I want to request.
Wait, meanwhile, Bello, wait first. Let me first deal with your matter. You say me I was
Yes, sir.
authoritarian last week. Now I'm sweet this
I mean
week.
the way
See,
you.
I have many sides. Oh. Wait, Berin Gamaka, Berin Fadamaka Gaska.
Yes, sir.
I have many sides.
Sir.
Kanaji? I
Yes,
say I
sir.
have many sides.
I can see,
I
sir.
have many
I can
sides,
see.
depending on where I
Naga.
wake up. Kaga Alama ko?
I say Naga Alama, this week you wake up on a very good side.
Okay, what's
That's
the
very
second
good, sir.
question?
Sir, the class is interesting and it's making me to think that we really need to stand up and face the reality in this country. We are not too much engaging our legislators in regards to what they are supposed to do and what we, the citizens, are supposed to do. But with this, you have given me a change of mind and a direction to follow. Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice day.
Now good.
Yes, sir.
Very much, Edie, for
So
this.
wait now. People are now saying I woke up on the good side of bed. People say today is cowtail day. I'm only going to take cowtail because I have a cold. And actually, I'll be taking other things. We just can only mention the cowtail publicly. But I'm not saying I woke up on the good side today. People that work within the electoral college know that I'm probably one of the best strokers. I just have a short fuse for for nonsense. And I mean, but anyway, we'll get to meet now. I have 6 classes with you guys. You can make your decision at the end of the what they call it, the cohort. We'll see what you think Kunle is or whatever it is. So Charlie, you have to mute everybody again so that we have the class back. So everyone, thanks for your time today. This class has really extended long. This class has really extended long. We didn't expect it to reach 7:05. We're grateful 100 people are still in class. I'll mark your assignments when whatever I've taken on Friday. You know, when you take too much pepper, sometimes you not see well. So maybe at night or when I wake up tomorrow morning, and we'll have what's best. Tomorrow you're doing, I think you're doing communication in politics. I don't know which course you're doing, and then you're doing political party and structures. Your assignment will also come up on Monday as usual. Thanks for the efforts you put into assignment. Some people are telling me, I read one part, I just skimmed through. Somebody said federation is our problem. We should go back to regions. Thank you for your 1966 idea. I'll be marking that point in that assignment properly because it's so 1966. But you'll do a course that takes you through constitutional developments across the years. Then you understand why regionalization was changed to federating units. But you get to know. So thank you everyone for today. Today, this is not your best class. This is just a class you enjoyed. I will tell you that about the college. So have a lovely evening, everyone. I don't know if Chalia or Lisa has anything to say. DD.
No, not
Charlie, are you
easy.
there?
Well done. It's been an interesting class.
Thank you very much, everyone. And do have a lovely day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.